f4.
Yes. So it's looking like
Some weird, King's Indian setup, if you'd ask me.
It is a very weird King's Indian setup. But one thing that I would say is Black should be a bit hesitant about playing e6, e5. I would much rather that White did e4, e5, and then you got the knight, the d5 square for the knight. So I would just wait
Do something.
here. Yeah, I don't think I even would castle. I would first step the queen somewhere.
and probably long castle.
Yeah, potentially. Because, let's see what White is going to do. Let White make sense of his queen on g2.
Like queen d7.
Yeah, queen d7.
Okay, what, a4 maybe, yeah? Like put the...
Yeah, but then again, now you've committed yourself to
this-
a4. You've given the b4 square
Wait a
away.
second. Well, is it that bad to just really go e5 and at least have the bishop on f3?
If e5?
Yeah, like e5, I understand.
Yeah,
Knight
the knight
You're
on
getting
e5.
a nice
play bishop
and
f3?
bishop f3. Yeah,
Okay.
like my
e7
bishops.
maybe?
It doesn't the knight... Yeah, knight e7. But also sometimes you put the knight on e3 and you just give it all away.
Yeah.
To get
Yeah,
the
well-
dark squares.
I was mildly worried about the idea of g7, g5.
Yeah,
but
me.
right-
I'm
Really worried.
What? No, I'm doing it.
yeah.
This
look-
is like a Caro-Kann player's dream. Like
Look.
get g5 in.
Anish disagrees with us, and he does play e5.
E5.
There was
stop all
also
this.
there was also my thought that since Black is not castled yet, short castled that is, right? So e5 f5 is less of an issue, I would say. So usually you don't want this structure when your king is on a, the structure after f4 f5, right? So
Yeah.
when your king is castled, so that's a well-known attack from the King's Indians, just pushing the g pawn and so on. But here, like e5 f5, maybe you just prepare long castle, and then you go, say queen d7, castles long, king b8, and you still try to play on the queen side with your king being there,
Yeah.
because you have such a huge space advantage.
Where do you want the queen though? Because I'm just thinking ahead. I guess for White. White is going to be going for g4, g5. It seems like both
Right.
sides
Yeah.
are grabbing, and then in that case, the queen should be on e7 or d6. So
Yeah,
that the knight can get to d7.
That's a fair point. Like,
But if the queen is on d6,
Yeah, there might be like g5 and then bishop g4, yeah? And
Yeah.
then when the king is over here, it's going to look scary. Yeah, maybe queen e7 is
maybe
a
queen e7 as opposed to queen to d7. I mean, but
better option.
we need to get our crystal ball out and think about what does White want to do. That's also one of my weaknesses. How good are you at like thinking about what your opponent wants to do?
I don't even know what I want to do, let alone thinking what my opponent wants to do. Wrong question, Yobi.
yeah, but imagine how hard it is for your opponent then to guess what you're going to do if you don't know it yourself. Right?
I remember the last time I played Irene, she took my queen, and I was like, "Ooh, look at that."
Yeah. So Anish's going to teach us how to handle those positions, because I can hardly see White kind of not playing f4, f5, at least eventually. You know. And there'd be no zugzwang for white.
Yeah.
So he still wouldn't save, but at least like not letting this pawn to promote.
So the game goes with after king b3, Anish just simply took on
Chopped it
e4,
off, yeah.
and then
King
bishop
e4.
g2 and back to d3. So again, yeah, if you take on this, you can just promote this pawn, yeah, just keep pushing it.
E4, yep.
Yeah, because this king is being shouldered, cannot really stop the pawns. So after king d3, okay, he took it. He took on b7.
Not much.
Nothing much that white can do in this position.
Yeah, should be 7, e4,
Yes,
and this is
e4.
autopilot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. His pawns are going to promote, nothing to be done. And
But for the second consecutive round, Anish makes it look so hard.
well, there was just that
Yeah.
small
Did you
moment,
see?
right?
Did you see? He was just flinch and then he was like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, why did I allow something like this?
Why did
I
I
should
get
have kept the
myself on the
queen.
second score
Yeah.
sheet? Yeah. But okay.
But really, he has to work for it. You would expect him, like, being a participant in the, in the Open tournament, to win first few games relatively easy, and then he has to work for it.
But in fairness to Anish, it has been relatively easy and he has been getting excellent openings. He's had these winning endgames. And somehow there's just been one small slip up, which in the first game had some serious consequences. And in this game was just a minor blip because instead of winning immediately, he won.
He still wins. Yeah, but
he won
not
30
much
moves
longer.
later.
Yeah. So e3. So, but you can see he's kind of double checking himself now, right? Yeah. e3. Next move e2.
I was expecting king c1, but
c5.
no, king c1, of course. e2.
And this is...
Oh, it's the moment to shake hands. Oh, no.
No,
He
went
played c5, sorry.
Yeah, but the question is, like, what's
Okay, just
the
take it.
culture? That's so interesting that he captures this one. I mean, there is nothing wrong. I mean, it's one pawn less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
once-
there's nothing to be done because if you go king c1, he just goes e2,
Bishop a6,
bishop
e3.
a6, king e3. You're still going to have to give up the bishop for a pawn. And that's it.
And
That's it. So
Anish
bishop c5.
Giri wins with the black pieces. And I would say it was relatively smooth sailing for Anish there, despite this small blip. That just meant that he had to work
other.
longer, I would say, to convert. And, well, after